Yes, he's back. Dwayne Nathan Jack with another one. And wow, depression. I remember Trump said, there's no excuses for depression. Yeah, you should be so busy you ain't even got time to think. But it's true, and they say the devil finds work for idle hands and minds. Because when you're occupied, when you living in purpose, when you got something to do, or when it's no longer about you, it's about someone else, so you're serving, you're still doing, it's a verb, then it takes it away from you. I think what happens when we fall short and go under and become depressed is because we're isolating ourselves, we're listening to the voice inside that we call my man, and then we start thinking, our thoughts create our feelings, we feel that way, and then that's our emotions, and our emotion is the driving force of our behavior, and emotion is behavior. Take away E from emotion, you're left with motion. What is motion? Movement. So what do you need to change? Your thoughts. Come on. You know it makes sense. Anyway, that's just a quick breakdown, but we know there's much contributing factors to why people become depressed, right? So let's explore some of these contributing factors why someone becomes depressed. And if we identify why someone comes depressed, then we're able to identify, reveal, then heal. So here we go now. The first one, intake. Number one, what you eat. Yeah, what you eat. What you put into your mouth will determine the stimulations. So our body is a chemist. The biology, the chemist. So if you was to eat chocolate cake, then you would probably have a quick high and then you go, it would be hard to get out of bed in the morning. So you could have loads of sugar, same sort of thing. And then you've got cheese, pizza, alcohol. You've got, let's just stay on food for a minute. You've got all these different kind of foods with sugar, salt, and oil. We're made up of like 80% water. So water and oil don't mix. It can't hold together because of the texture, the liquid, the material, whatever you want to call it, liquid. Yeah, the liquids don't gel together because it's oil and water. Sorry, I lost my chain of thought. I couldn't catch the word, but it doesn't matter because it's passion over perfection. So oil and water don't mix. Yeah, light and dark. If it's dark in a room, you turn the lights on, dark is gone. So positive and negative. So you've got to understand the body is made up of 80% water. So if we're putting oil in there, that has an effect with the internal biology. Now, just like if you was to see, you feared something, you were getting chased by something, you'd go into the fight and flight mode. Your hormones, the chemicals would be released from your body. And then also you've got, like, say, stimulants. You've got coffee, you get stimulated from the coffee, you get hyperactive, you be like that fight and flight mode, and whilst you're in that fight and flight mode, you're on a high. But where there's a high, then there's a crash. So these are some of the things that could influence your mindset, your attitude, and your biology and psychology. So you've got food, depending on your food. Now, this video is very generic, so it's for you know what your food is. Do a food diary and see what you're putting in your body each day. That will determine how you're feeling, how hard it is for you to, sorry, it's been a long day, how hard it is for you to get out of bed in the morning, and the A, B, and C, because you're eating chocolate, sugar, chips, and all that stuff. So food is number one. Then you've got drugs. Drugs, and I'll put alcohol there as well. Alcohol. Same again. Yeah, it's chemicals. Chemicals that go into the body. When the chemicals go into the body, the chemicals have a biological effect that will stimulate dopamine, endorphins, and your gut, and all that good stuff. So you've got to be conscious that drugs will also give you a high, whether it's a stimulant or a depressant. High. Same as the food, high. So then you become addicted to that. So then you're consuming the chocolate, the bar of chocolate every night, or that piece of cake, or chips, or pizza, or whatever it may be, or the alcohol, the glasses of wine, or the brandy, or the beers, and then the drugs, the cannabis, whatever. So now there's a repeated habit, and then once there's a habit, there's an addiction. So now you're not even yourself because you become a slave to the substance, whether it's food or alcohol or drugs. Yeah? So the majority of people on this planet Earth, probably a high percentage, are addicted to some form of foods, alcohol, or drugs. And that is the cause for them feeling down and depressed, because they're a slave to the sugar or slave to the stimulant. And that is why certain people may be depressed. So we've got food, we've got drugs and alcohol, and now we're going to go to life events. Life events. Something could happen to us, whether someone could die, we could be beaten, bullied, split up in a marriage, relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, betrayal, whatever it may be, or there could have been an accident, you could have broke your leg, you're out of football, or whatever it may be. We're saying activating event, something that's traumatized us. And if we haven't got resilience to bounce back up, then we're carrying that. Now we're a victim. Yeah, we've become a victim because he done this, or life done this to me. I broke my leg, I lost my scholarship, now I'm not working, and then I go down, down, down the slippery slope to depression. Why? Because we didn't have resilience to bounce back up, brush it off, learn from it, A, B, and C. So that's another thing. Life events. Things can happen in life, and sometimes when these things happen to us in life, they happen. We're supposed to get back on our bike and we need to start pedaling. I've got a client. I've been working with a family for quite some time. Wealthy family in, over the neck of the woods, nice countryside in Surrey. And basically the boy he'd done his theory, well done. He failed it twice, done it the third time. Then he's driving, he messed up on the roundabout twice, and now he's given up. It's traumatized him that much. He said he actually cried that he failed because he wanted it that bad. He'd done it twice. I said, how many times did you do your theory? He said, 3. I said, well, just get back on it. But the fact that he failed was so traumatizing. He's got ADHD and all that, autism and stuff. It was so traumatizing for him. He didn't want to go. I'm still working on him now to go and do a crash course. However, that event has traumatized him. He wasn't resilient to bounce back up. So sometimes in life, that could have been a relationship, it could have been something that hurt us. We've never actually bounced back. And then we could go from the event, then we start drinking or taking drugs or overeating. So then now you see how these are actually linked to something that happened at a life event, but then we started drinking and then we think, so then you see the slippery slope to depression. But where you haven't had no help or support with anyone, like a trainer or mentor, whatever it is, you haven't identified the dots. You haven't done the dots back because you just forgot about the relationship. You thought you was over it, but you obviously wasn't, because a month after that, you started drinking, you got sacked, A, B, and C, and there's a ripple effect, and that's why you may have become depressed. Yeah? So we've got eating, we got drugs, alcohol, and we've got life events. Yes? And life events are very broad, but you see how these are linked up. And then that could be go to the doctors and get antidepressants. It's the same as drugs, alcohol really. And then you've got obviously the food. And then you've also got as well, with life event, is this becoming a workaholic, yeah? Trying to fulfill this with, here we go, we're going deeper now, with life events. It could be, sorry, the rainbow pens. So it could be even having an affair. You're having an affair, so there's guilt on you. Yes, then you drink more, then you take more drugs. So there's that guilt. You could be gambling. You could be sex, porn, whatever it is. So even these addictions, so we may have these addictions here, we've got drugs, alcohol, but what about the other addictions of porn, of sex, affairs, gambling? They're all other addictions that could make you feel depressed because you've lost control. You're masturbating all the time, you've lost control. You're having affairs, you've lost control. Your guilt, your conscience, you're waking up. So there we go, you drink more. Or you may have to drink before you gamble. Or you may have to drink before you take drugs. Or you may have to drink before you have the affair. And the drink is the gateway to the other stuff. Because I remember before, I would have to drink to then lapse onto other kind of drugs. I'd have to have a drink first. I'd never go and do drugs or A, B, and C. I'd have to have a drink. I'd drink, and that would be the gateway, and then A, B, and C, and then Dwayne's lost. Gone again. Uncontrollable, unmanageable, all or nothing. That's right. That's the kind of person that I was in my previous life, and that's how it can have certain people. Some people can manage it, but it's not being managed. It's basically, you're maintaining, pretending to live a normal life because you're a business owner, executive leader, entrepreneur, so it looks like you're maintaining it, but really you're suffering. Sometimes that's more scary. For me, when I used to lose it, I'd lose it, everyone would know, because I'd be on a mad one. So at least it was visual and people could see it, and then obviously I'd get locked up, and then I'd meet myself to be able to discover the real me, listen to the still small voice, and learn from the amount of times that I actually went into jail, because jail was my safe haven. But I ask you today, what is your safe haven? Because if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, and you've got capital on tap, like, that's effing dangerous because there's no stopping you. And I've worked with clients before, successful business owners, and the thing is, guess what? They end up most at risk because they keep going and drink, and then there's no stopping them. And that's when mental health comes and suicide. So that's the question I ask you. But anyway, going back to the original video of depression, so there you go. Check out your food and write this down. Get a bit of paper, write this down, and that will help you identify these, the addiction, whether it's food, alcohol, drugs. Then you've got the events, so it's identify, yeah? So you've got this event, so identify your event. Identify the event, because it's usually probably the event that's took you there, yeah? And then that is what brings the depression, why you feel down, because you're chasing your tail, you're not happy because the addiction has got you, and whatever that addiction may be, like I said before, sex, gambling, more success, whatever it is, and you're just not happy within yourself. So then you either want to sit down, lay down, go to sleep, and sometimes you don't even want to wake up because life's that bleak, you just want to go back to sleep. So I hope that helped you. That is why one would feel depressed, be depressed, because of one of these, well, this makeup, what I just shared here now. And I can guarantee you now, you draw the dots together and that will show you how. So how to break that addiction, because remember, it's addiction as well. It's an addiction where you've fallen short with your thought life, yeah? So there's all the external kind of habits and addictions. However,